A very warm welcome to all the seekers on our session this evening. Uh, as you know that we have been conducting these sessions online since last year when we first hit the lockdown, and a lot of seekers have joined us through this channel. This is pretty new and has reached now quite a lot of people through this online mode that we've started through Zoom and YouTube. And what we are doing is right now having 3 daily sessions for new seekers, one in the morning at 8, one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening, which is this one at 7:45. Only on Saturday, we have one session in English for seekers who requested that we also have a session in English because they do not understand Hindi so well. So this is what is happening on this channel. Also, what we are doing is we are having daily meditation sessions apart from this at 5:30 for seekers who have now understood Sahaja Yoga, understand some basic methodologies and how to do meditation, etc., and are practicing at home daily. They can then join the 5:30 session that we are having daily as well. So what we'll do today is just talk about Sahaja Yoga, Shree Mataji, our subtle system, what we are inside, and what does it mean to have realization? What does it? Why should we have a realization? Things like that, and then we'll go for a meditation session. After that, we can have some questions as well, and we would welcome if any of the seekers would want to share their experiences as well. So the name Sahaja Yoga, as it suggests, is something that is simple, a yoga that is simple, and that's a very simple way of putting it as well. But the real meaning of Sahaja is something that is spontaneous. Saha means with you, Ja means born, something that is born with you, and yoga means union. So this has also become a misnomer for us when on International Yoga Day, we all do Hatha Yoga or just asanas out of the Hatha Yoga. So the yoga word literally, it means the union with the divine. And asana is just one part of the Ashtanga Yoga as described by Patanjali. So the idea is to understand why do we need yoga? How does one get it spontaneously? And what are the benefits? What happens when you get your realization, your yoga? What are we supposed to expect? Because the fact is we don't even know what should happen to me. So for example, anybody can say that now you have become self-realized. So how do I figure out if I've got my realization? How do I figure out if my Kundalini has awakened? So these are some of the things that we do not know. So Shree Mataji often starts her lectures. She used to start her lectures to the public by saying, I bow to the seekers of the truth. So she hails us who are coming and looking for something higher as the seekers of the truth. So we can understand the word seekers, somebody who's seeking something, who's looking for something, who's searching. So we are, in a way, we are accepting that something is missing and we need something to make our lives better, to make our lives maybe more peaceful, to maybe get us a more healthy life, or just an all-rounded balanced life, a more balanced personality. So there's something that we are on the lookout for, and we think that there is something higher that we need to find. And that, Shree Mataji says, is a special category of people. Earlier, they used to just happen once, one or two people here and there who would go to hills and dales and the mountains and in the jungles and would start searching for God. Now, Shree Mataji says it's the blossom time. Thousands are coming, searching for God, many in wrong places as well, but many of them are getting their realization through Sahaja Yoga. And when we say that we are the seekers, so we have been seeking something till now. We have been seeking money, jobs, positions, power, maybe family, maybe some other well-being, maybe something that would make us happy. The the Shuddha Ichha that we have, which when satiated. So in economics, we say that wants are generally not satiable. So we have so many things that we want in life. Oh, I want this, next I want this, next I want this. It just doesn't end anywhere. So the power of pure desire that resides inside us, of Kundalini, when we get that awakened, all other desires drop out. And because we get that ultimate thing, we do not care for anything else. Not that we leave our lives or in any way we become different. But when we get the ultimate, we do not want the smaller things. So that is about seeking. And when we say seeking the truth, so that's a very vague statement for us. What does it mean, the truth? There are various aspects to talk about that. So our lives are all very relative. We all live in a very relative world. So for example, I can rationalize something as being good, whereas you can rationalize something else to be good. Even, let's say, a terrorist can rationalize and justify what he's doing. So we are living in a very relative world. We have all got very different ideas, and we do not know what's right, what's wrong. There's a lot of confusion, Bhranti, that resides in the world. And in such a time of chaos, there has to be something that tells us that this is the absolute. The truth is that we are made by God Almighty. In His image, we say His reflection resides inside us. And He is everywhere around us. His power is residing everywhere around us. And He has created this system inside us through which we can get to Him, we can get connected to Him, and thus achieve the absolute truth. So this is what Shree Mataji has been talking about. And how does this happen? So we'll talk about the subtle system shortly, but just to talk about how do we get a realization and what happens when we get it. So as we are saying, it's a spontaneous process. So what happens? What is a spontaneous process? So the sprouting of a seed is a spontaneous process. We do not actually pull the primule out of the seed. It comes on its own. Just put it in the Mother Earth, you put some water, you give it some sunlight. It happens on its own. So all living processes are spontaneous. For example, our breathing is spontaneous. Let's say if you would have to maybe read some books to keep on breathing, most of us won't survive. So anything that happens on its own is a living process, is spontaneous. And this is the awakening of the Kundalini is a living process. It's the next step of our evolution. And this is the most spontaneous and natural process. It happens in the presence of somebody who is authorized. As Ramdas Swami said, you just need someone who can give it and someone who can take it. It happens that shan, that very moment. When we say it's the evolutionary step for us, so that's a big statement in itself. So there is an acceptance when we say that the world is in chaos. So we're probably not complete. This is not how God imagined us as human beings, His highest creation, so to say, to be. So there is something that has to break through, a breakthrough that we have to achieve. And that happening, that's the actual happening. That's not something that we just become brothers and sisters, we become one. Just by saying, just by good words, we cannot become. There is an actualization. There is something that has really to happen inside us to transform us completely. That actualization is our self-realization. When our Kundalini awakens, it connects us to the divine, and we are all truly connected to each other because we are connected to one main server, and we are collectively conscious. When we get a realization, we become collectively conscious. When we get a realization, we get into a state of thoughtless awareness, when we are beyond thoughts. The power of God Almighty starts flowing through us, and it nourishes our centers, our complete being. It helps us emotionally, mentally, physically, in all aspects of our lives. And we see and we feel the miracles. We know that somebody is taking care of us. Also, we become powerful enough to use the power that is flowing through us. We can also then give realization to others. So these are some of the things, and they can be talked about in great detail. This is a huge subject, and Shree Mataji has graciously talked about it in thousands of lectures in English, Hindi, and Marathi languages all across the world. So Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi, is the one who started Sahaja. She started Sahaja in 1970 when 5th May 1970, she opened the last center of Sahasrara. And she started spreading the word. She started giving realization. Her husband was placed at the UN as the head of the International Maritime Organization and was elected 7 times. And that's how Shree Mataji had to travel internationally. And that's how she could spread Sahaja Yoga. Now it's being practiced in more than 100 countries. So how is it happening inside us is something that you know. When you do the meditation, you get the experience, you know it for yourself. This power starts flowing through you. You feel the cool breeze coming out of your hands. As described by Adi Guru Shankaracharya, Salilam Salilam Chaitanya. He says when the mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chaitanya. In Bible, it is described as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. In Quran, it said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. And that's literally what happens. Our hands tell us which chakras are catching, what is not right with us, what vibrations are we getting. That tells us the real, actual status of us. For the first time, we know what is happening inside. Also, we can know about others because we are collectively conscious. There's so many things that happen to us post-realization, but it is for you to see that and experience on your own. So what we'll do now is quickly talk about the subtle system inside us and just try to understand it briefly. So as we're talking about the Kundalini power inside us, what happens is that when we are in our mother's womb, 2.5 months old, the power of divine, almighty, God, Ishwar, whatever you call it, it enters through our fontanelle bone on the top of our head. And it comes down, it enters and it breaks into 3 main channels. It breaks into 3 energies. So the one coming from the right goes to the left, the one coming from the left goes to the right, and one comes down in the center. And the leftover energy, it comes down and settles in 3.5 coils in our sacrum bone. So the Sanskrit word for coil is kundal, and this is a mother power. So the name Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini Shakti is our individual mother. She will give us our second birth. That is what is called as Dvijaha. So in Sanskrit, bird is called as Dvijaha. Also, the Brahmin is called as Dvijaha because Brahmin is supposed to be self-realized. He is supposed to have his realization. So what is the comparison between the two? A bird is first an egg. When it breaks through the egg, it becomes something else. There's a transformation. So that transformation happens and we become Brahman. So that transformation inside us happens when the Kundalini Shakti is awakened. When the Kundalini enters inside us in our mother's womb, it creates these 3 powers that I mentioned. These are the channels and these 7 centers inside us. All of this is created by her. She, as I mentioned, is our individual mother and has been with us all our past lives. She knows everything about us. So she is our mother and she is waiting to give us our second birth. So this is a bit about Kundalini Shakti itself. Moving on, we'll talk about the three channels that get built inside us. The first one on the left side, which goes on the right, on our head, crosses over to the right side. It's called as the Ida Nadi. It controls on the gross our left sympathetic nervous system. So this whole system that we're talking about, these nadis and chakras, these are very subtle systems. These are not on the outside, but they are manifested on the gross level itself. So, for example, our nervous system is manifested by these three nadis that we're talking about. Also, our plexuses. So, in medical science, we know that there are 7 plexuses, and our 7 chakras have been described thousands of years ago as well. So, these chakras are exactly manifested into these plexuses. So, and they provide the energy to these plexuses, to this nervous system, to everything, to our complete physical, emotional, mental being, everything. So when we say Ida Nadi, it represents our past. All that has happened in the past is stored here. And this Nadi is responsible for our emotions. All our emotions come from the left side. All our desires also come from the left side. So somebody who is very emotional is probably working too much on this nadi and will go into an imbalance. Or somebody who's all the time thinking of the past and very sad and depressed, those persons are also working too much on the left channel. So when we meditate on our hands, we feel the vibrations and the status of the respective channel. For example, left hand, you can feel the status of the left nadi. Similarly, on the right hand side, we have the Pingala Nadi. So the Pingala Nadi is responsible for all action inside us. So when I say action inside us, it means physical action. It also means mental action. And this channel is responsible for our future. So somebody who's very ambitious is working too much on this. Somebody who's very aggressive is working on this channel a lot. Somebody who's always thinking, planning, sitting on the desk, working, they are using this channel way too much. And they'll probably end up hurting their liver or something. So any kind of extremities in life, they lead to some kind of a imbalance in these nadis, and they lead to so many of troubles, which could be physical troubles, mental troubles, emotional troubles, psychosomatic diseases. So many things can originate because of this imbalance. So it has been said, Ati Sarvatra Varjit. So everywhere it's said that we should not go into extremities. What happens in the center? In the center is the Sushumna Nadi, which controls our parasympathetic nervous system. This is the channel of the present. So when we come into the present, we are balanced. And when we are in the present, only then Kundalini can rise, because anything that has to ascend has to have a balance. So this is in brief all about the 3 channels. What we'll do is quickly talk about the centers that there are. So the first one is called as the Muladhara Chakra. Now, in Sahaja Yoga, Shree Mataji has decoded a lot for us. And one of those things is that we can feel these chakras on our hands. There are specific positions where you feel the status of the chakra on your hands during meditation. So where it's written as 1, you can see that is the position for Muladhara Chakra. And also, we know the deities that are present on various chakras inside us. And we when we say we worship them, we are actually asking for their qualities. When we go against their qualities, the chakras go off and we develop troubles. For example, the first one, we worship Sri Ganesha, is residing on this first chakra that we have. And this chakra resides below the position of the Kundalini. So Sri Ganesha is the one who tells his mother that there is someone authorized, and now mother, you can rise. He is the giver of innocence, wisdom, buddhi, vivek, pavitrata, mangal mehta. There are no right words for mangal mehta in English, but uh, so these are the qualities of Sri Ganesha. And when we go against, let's say, pavitrata, we know what that is. Then the chakra goes off. So it controls all the organs around excretion that we have in that area. So when we go against sex in any way, this chakra goes off. And when we are somebody who's very cunning, conniving, hurting others in some way or the other, we are not innocent. This chakra then also goes off. So being innocent like children is the quality that we get. Also, we get wisdom. Especially in children, they know what is right, what is wrong for them. That wisdom develops innately when this chakra is awakened fully. So these are some of the qualities and the things that can go wrong with any chakra. Um, Moving forward, the next one is Swadhisthana chakra. This is governed by Sri Brahmadev Saraswati, who we know are the creators of the universe. And the biggest quality that they give us is creativity. All our creative powers originate from this chakra. This chakra is responsible for a lot of things, a lot of organs around this. And we can also see that the right channel starts from this chakra. So it's responsible for our action. On the left-hand side, it's also responsible for our desires. So all our mental activity we actually do from the Swadhisthana chakra, because this chakra provides the fat cells that can get converted into gray cells for the brain to think. And when we are thinking too much, this chakra is providing too many fat cells. It's working towards that. So it is not able to look after the, let's say, the pancreas, the liver, all of those organs. So usually people who are working too much or thinking too much or worried all the time, they are the ones who develop diabetes, or who are working under so much stress, they develop liver troubles, those kind of things. This chakra we can feel on the thumbs. In Sahaja Yoga, we have seen that a lot of people, children, elder people as well, they develop a lot of creative powers after coming to Sahaja Yoga, and that is the benefit of the we can say the ashirvadas of this chakra. And on the left hand side, this chakra goes off when we go into some wrong tantra mantra kind of a place. Then the left Swadhisthana goes off. After this comes the Nabi chakra. The Nabi chakra is adorned by Sri Lakshmi Narayan, who are the who are taking care of our complete benefaction. So they take care of our complete benevolence. And in terms of, so we understand what Lakshmi is, but that's we only take it as money. But Lakshmi is defined in so many other ways. People who are generous to others, people who have a big heart, who are taking care of others. So somebody who's a true Lakshmi Pati is a very generous person, for example. So all those qualities slowly they come into us. On the left hand side, there's Griha Lakshmi, which takes care of the household, the family. On the right hand side, there are other Lakshmi powers which take care of our money, job, all those things. So all our complete well-being is taken care of because of this chakra. This chakra is also important because it leads into our evolution. Our seeking starts from this chakra. So we started the discussion with seeking, and it's so important. And all that seeking starts from here. So for example, when we were animals, we may be seeking food or maybe shelter or things like that. Slowly and gradually we evolve. When we are human beings, now we have come to a state where we are seeking, let's say, money, or maybe love, or maybe something else. And slowly and gradually that seeking develops into a seeking for the ultimate, the divine. Around this chakra is the Bhavasagara, which is adorned by 10 masters, the 10 incarnations of the primordial master, Adi Guru Dattatreya. So who were these? These were Guru Nanak, Lao Tse, Muhammad Sahab, Shirdi Sainath, Zoroaster, Moses, and so many of them, like uh, who have come on this earth at various stages of human evolution and have established the religions, the true religions inside us. And this is not the religion outside that we know of, but the true religion inside, which tells us what is wrong, what is right. So we know that if we see something very horrible, we may end up vomiting, because the religion inside us, it tells us that there is something very wrong that is happening. So that innate religion is established by these great masters, and this is the place of the master principle inside us. Also, when we go to some wrong gurus who are only posing as gurus and are actually not good people, this chakra can also go off because of that. So we can feel the Nabhi chakra on the middle fingers on both the hands, and we can feel the Bhavsagara on the palm, around the very center of the palm. After this chakra is the Anahat chakra, you can call it the heart chakra as well. And this is adorned by Sri Jagadamba, the mother of the universe. On the right hand side is Sri Sitaram, on the left hand side is Sri Shiv Parvati. So the central chakra is adorned by the mother, and she is our protector. She is the one who gives us the confidence that she's taking care of everything. And she's the one who develops the antibodies inside us till the age of 12. And they fight for her to protect us from every attack. When we develop any sense of insecurities, for example, children who are very afraid, they are the ones who fall ill a lot. Or let's say women who have some kind of insecurity with their husbands or the family, they can develop diseases like even breast cancer. So on the right side is the father principle. We know that Sri Ram was the Maryada Purushottam. He led the life of an ideal king, son, father, everything. He established all of those Maryadas inside us. When we go against those Maryadas, this chakra goes off, especially for the father principle. So this chakra is representative. On the left-hand side is the mother principle. On the left-hand side is also the place of our Atma, our soul, our spirit. What is the spirit now is the question. So the spirit is the reflection of God Almighty inside us. And the Kundalini is the reflection of the power of God Almighty inside us. So the spirit is a sakshi, it is a witness, it watches everything. When we get a realization, the spirit comes into our attention. So that happens when we get a realization. This chakra is also the place for love and compassion inside us. Because when we know that we are part and parcel of the whole, that is the Param Atma, and we are just Atma, then we know that everybody is truly our brothers and sisters. That happens, that is again a happening, and it's not just a mental thing that we are projecting. So we develop love and compassion when this chakra opens up properly. And we can feel this chakra on the smallest fingers of both the hands. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra. This is adorned by Sri Radha Krishna. And there are various qualities to this chakra. For example, collectivity comes into us because of this chakra. When we raised our heads, that is when we became truly collective as well. We realized the world and the people around us. This chakra gives us all the qualities of Sri Krishna, as we know, of being sweet to others, of being diplomatic, of knowing what to say, when to say, of the witness state, the Kshetragya as he has described. We develop that state when this chakra opens up. We see the whole world as a Leela, like he did. And there are various other things about this chakra. So for example, on the left-hand side, this chakra goes off when we feel very guilty. When we are all the time telling ourselves, oh, I am no good, I am so bad, I am such a horrible person, this, that. And the left side Vishuddhi goes off, and it's very dangerous for Sahaja Yoga, because when that goes off, we do not feel the vibrations on our hands. You see, the Vishuddhi chakra controls the nerves that come to our hands. So when this chakra goes off in any form, we do not feel the vibrations on our hands. And even when we get the realization, we do not feel the vibrations. Whereas on the right hand side, this chakra goes off, uh, people are actually being very aggressive to others. So that is the opposite of the left one. When they're shouting, abusing others, and telling them off a lot, the right side goes off. Also, by smoking and taking tobacco, Vishuddhi chakra goes off. We can feel this chakra on our index fingers. After this comes the Agya chakra. So you can see that this is a crossing place, and the three nadis, they all cross over here. So it's a very, very constricted path for Kundalini to pass through. Also, it becomes constricted because there are two very important institutions inside us called as ego and superego that develop in our lives because of so ego develops because of all the actions that we do. We accomplish something, we think we are this, that, our identities, misidentities, all of that leads into the ego. Whereas the superego is all the learnings, all the conditionings that we develop in our lives. So that is our superego. One of the two is always heavier on the other because we are either too much on the left or on the right. We develop ego or superego too much, and Kundalini cannot pass through. So Agya Chakra is governed by three incarnations who talked of the same thing. And these are Jesus Christ, Gautam Buddha, and Mahavir. And all of them talked about forgiving others. Their whole lives, the miracles of their lives are all about forgiveness. And this chakra opens up only when we are able to forgive. The balloons of ego and superego, they get sucked in as soon as Kundalini crosses the Agya chakra. And the path opens up. So you can feel the Agya chakra on our ring fingers on both the hands. When Kundalini sucks in the ego and superego, the path opens up and it crosses over to Sahasrara chakra, which is the last one. So the Sahasrara chakra is essentially, it's the integration of all the other centers inside us. And when we say integration, it really means that all the chakras have their seats here. Also, this is the place, this is the door through which we get integrated with the divine. We become an integrated personality ourselves. So this has been described in so many scriptures in so many ways. It's been called as the Brahmarandra, as the Dashamvar, as the door to heaven. So this is the place of meeting with God. Above this is heaven. So it's described. So this is the last chakra that Kundalini breaks through and our realization takes place. And when that happens, the power of divine starts flowing through us, through our nerves, through our hands. We feel that power flowing through us. And that is how we get our self-realization. So this is quite the detailed description of our inner subtle system, but it has been described, as I mentioned, various times in much more details by Shree Mataji. And if you want to know more, you should go and listen to those lectures. Now, what we'll do is get into a meditation session. And there are some steps that we can do to get ourselves in that state of meditation. So the first thing that we do is balance ourselves. In Sahaja Yoga, we use the 5 elements. We are, as we know, that we are created by these 5 elements of earth, water, fire, air, and sky or ether element. So we use these in various shapes and forms to cleanse ourselves. Some of them we'll use today in meditation. We always place a diya or a candle in front of Shree Mataji's photo while doing meditation. So in the first step, we'll put our left hand in our lap like this and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. We'll have some prayers here. In the next step, we bring the right hand into our lap and put the left hand by bending the elbow towards the sky. In the third step, we put both our hands on the Mother Earth. After this, we'll bring both our hands in our lap. Now, after this, all the steps are to be done only with the right hand. The left hand has to be kept open in our lap as a representation of the desire, that is our left side, to get realization. And the right hand has to be used as a representation of action, which is the right side, in helping our chakras to for the Kundalini to pass through. So the first step, we'll put our left hand on the heart, where is the place of the spirit inside us. In the next step, we'll put our right hand on our forehead and bend the forehead a little bit. We'll press it like we would when we would have a headache. In the next step, we'll place this hand at the back of the head and push back our head a little. And in the last step, we will pull our fingers back and just use the center of the palm and press the top of the fontanelle bone with the right hand and move it in a clockwise direction while pressing it. We'll have some prayers here. So these are all these steps. And now we can understand that just doing some steps and prayers is definitely not enough for us to get a realization. Shree Mataji's photo will come on the screen now for all of us. This photo is very, very special. So how do we mean that? Is because Shree Mataji's photo has that coefficients, you can say, by which vibration starts flowing through and we get a realization. It's very important that we understand this and sit with complete humility and respect in a state where we are asking for something. So when we are asking for something, we have to be very humble. And what we are asking for is the ultimate, is the divine, is the highest. So with complete understanding and humility, look at Shree Mataji's photograph. We'll have this desire inside us that, Mother, I want my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization today. We'll slowly close our eyes, bring our attention inside. Just see what is happening inside us. Also, bring your attention to your palms, to your hands that are open in your laps. See that you're not slouching while sitting, or neither are you sitting very, very straight. You have to sit comfortably. Now we'll do the steps that we had just seen. We'll put our right hand on the Mother Earth. Keep our attention on the left palm. Here we have to pray, Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi Mother, please take out all the negativities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my Ida Nadi into balance. All the while, we have to keep our attention on both of our palms and see what is happening. We'll bring the right hand into our lap, put the left hand towards the sky. Here we are going to pray, Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my Pingla Nadi through the sky element or ether element. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into balance. Now we'll bring both our hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to ask, Mother, please bring me into the present. Mother, please take away all the thoughts of past and future and bring me into a state of present. And please give me a state of complete balance. Mother, please take out all the negativities and imbalances of my Ida and Pingla Nadi through the Mother Earth and bring me into the center in Sushumna Nadi. Now we'll bring both our hands into our lap. Now we'll place our right hand on our heart. Here is the place of the Spirit. Here we have to say, we have to affirm a truth, which is that, Mother, I am the pure Spirit. Mother, I'm not this body, mind, ego, conditionings, all the misidentifications that I have for myself. Mother, I am not all of this. Mother, I am the pure Spirit. Mother, I am the pure Spirit. Now, as we are the Spirit, we are not guilty of anything. As I mentioned, feeling guilty can really hinder the process for us. So here we have to say that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, as I am the Spirit, I am not guilty at all. Say it with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we'll bring this hand on our forehead and we'll place it across and press it on both sides like we would when we would have a headache. Here we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. is very important, and we at times find it very difficult. But we don't do anything by not forgiving. We only play into the hands of the people who have hurt us. Whereas if we forgive and leave it, then God takes over. So just a blanket cover to everyone. We'll say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. We bring this hand on the back of the head and push back our head. Here we have to say, for our own satisfaction, that, oh God, if we have committed any sins knowingly or unknowingly against you, please forgive us. If I have committed any wrong knowingly or unknowingly against you, oh God, please forgive me. We bring this hand back into our lap for a bit. Now, we'll bring this hand on the top of the head, pull our fingers back, and place the center of the palm on the fontanel bone. We'll press it there, and we'll move the scalp with the center of the palm without removing the hand in a clockwise direction. We'll move it in a clockwise direction without removing the palm. Now here, Shree Mataji says that I cannot cross the freedom that we have. So we would really have to ask for it. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Keep moving the hand and pressing the fontanel bone. And we'll say, Mother, please give me my self-realization, Mother. Please give me the yoga, the union with the divine. Mother, please let me feel the presence of power of love of God. Mother, please give me my yoga, my self-realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. We'll bring this hand down back in our lap slowly. We'll keep our attention where the hand was. We'll sit for meditation for half a minute. We'll bring our attention to our palms. We'll see if there is a cool breeze or maybe a hot breeze coming out of the center of our palms. We can also feel a tingling sensation on any of the fingers which represent our chakras. We'll just notice what is happening. Now we'll bring our right hand again on the top of our head where we had just placed our hand and raise it a little bit above the fontanel bone area 2 to 3 inches above that area, and see if there is a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your head. It would be a particular place, so you can move your hand and see it would be coming from a very particular place. It can be cool, it can be hot, depending on our state. Now bring the right hand back in our lap and put the left hand on the top of the head, just above the fontanelle bone area, a couple of inches above, and see what is happening. Is there a breeze coming out of our heads, hitting the palm? Again, we can move the hand a little and see. Bring the hand back into our laps. Now we'll put both our hands completely up, fully stretched up, and our palms open towards the sky, and push back our head. Here we have to ask any one of the three questions. Mother, is this the Param Chaitanya? Mother, is this the divine power? Mother, is this the love of God? You can ask any one of these questions 3 times. We'll bring our hands back into our lap slowly. And we'll see that in answer to the question, vibrations have increased. Keep our attention on the top of the head on fontanelle bone and sit in meditation for some time. We will slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. We'll find that there are no thoughts, and that we can look at our photograph even after opening our eyes, we are thoughtless. This is the first blessing of our realization. We get thoughtless awareness. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskara and thank Shree Mataji for this meditative state. Jai Shree Mataji. It is imperative in Sahaja Yoga that we meditate every day, 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes in the evening, to maintain this state. Otherwise, it just fizzles out. Vibrations also go away. Also, there are some other techniques Shree Mataji has told us to keep ourselves clean and in balance. There are various such things that we need to follow and meditate daily to maintain the state of meditation. I would urge any of you who have just joined to continue attending these sessions for a while so that you can establish the experience very well. Jai Shree Mataji. Siddhi, maybe you can take over.
Jai Shri Mataji. If anyone has any questions or experiences that they want to share, please write on the YouTube live chat. Also, you can join the Zoom call. You can share the experiences on that as well. Another thing is we have a WhatsApp group chat on which we share all the pure knowledge that has been told by Shri Mataji and all the techniques. So you can join that as well. The link of that is also shared on the YouTube chat. Another announcement is regarding the program which is scheduled for tomorrow. That is the meditation and experience sharing program. So that is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. So you can join that as well. Jai Shri Mataji.
Yeah, Jai Shri Mataji. So that session is being organized by a very senior Sahajogi, and it would really help if most of us can join that. There'd be a lot to learn, and there could be also some questions that as new seekers we have, which may get answered there. It will be a live session, and we can all really benefit from that. So let us try and join that. If you have any questions, you can leave in the chat, or you can also come and join the Zoom sessions to discuss. Happy to help in any which way possible. And joining the WhatsApp group would really help you in getting all the required resources for you to continue meditating. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji Bhaiya. There are no questions on the chat.
Okay. Maybe we just wait for like a minute and then we can end it.
Yeah.
Let's close the session for today. And thanks, Shri Mataji. Sati?
Jai Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, thank you very much for providing us our realization and providing this divine peace and love. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.